Good morning, guys. Welcome to this Wednesday, September 24th. And so after yesterday's little hullabaloo and little downdraft, it looks like we're just retracing a little bit. We've been maybe halfway back up again. But that was most likely because of whatever Powell said there in his speech, which just kind of turned that whole little rally we had into a reversal. No, we did not extend yesterday's. We have been in stage two, and let's see if they are gonna try to extend further to the downside. So I will be looking for that. See if we get see if we're gonna get more weakness. The overnight looks promising though. Doesn't look like there's a lot of weakness there. It looks like we retraced the single print on the I side back up here to the 6730s and pretty much holding on there. So uh, modest optimistic going into today's trading. Now, in the news today, we had mortgage apps come out in the morning at 7. They were pretty much flat. Big jump in last month, but this month, not so much. New home sales at 10, all report at 10:30. We have a 5-year auction at 1, and that's about it. So not a whole lot of news to the market. Tomorrow, though, we get more information. We got GDP, international trade, jobless claims, and on Friday, we get that PCE number as well. So that's what we're looking at right now. So not much news to drive the market today. The next news comes at 10. So I'm going to start off range bound. I'm going to be looking for that early weakness and see if they're going to try to take this lower. But if they start trading above this area now, the 6730s, I'm going to just be back on the long side again and see if they're going to retrace this back up again. So we'll see if this run down here yesterday is just a one-off or if it's actually entering stage two in this little move to the upside. So initially, I'm going to be looking to sell. I'm looking for shorts against that 6730s for rotations down. I'm looking to buy against the 6715s and the 6700s with a bit of caution for rotations back up. And then below the 6700s, I would stay on the short side. Above the 6730, I would trade it from the long side of the market. So that's pretty much the way I'm going to approach this morning. uh, Yeah, I don't think it's much more to it than that. The only caveat is really that we are technically in stage two, and as such, you're really looking for weakness to see how far they can when they're going to cut off the selling. But if this is it, this is all we got. We may see a day which extends to the upside, and then we are right back in stage one again. So if they start extending again, then we are yes, this move out of the middle just keeps going. So and that's where we are on the ES. So starting off, looking for shorts against that 6730s, looking to buy against 6715s and the 6700s for rotations up. And then that's the starting point. Below 67, look for stay on the short side. Still looking to buy against these support areas at 95s, at the 85s, at the 80s for rotations up. Just not as aggressively. And on the way up, if they start taking this higher, just going to be try to look for shorts against the 45s and the 55s, but just not as aggressively. So that's how we get started. Pretty straightforward. Let's see how this whole thing shakes out. Looking at our Nasdaq and the bond market, they were up a little bit in the overnight, backing off a little bit. So okay, we're getting a little bit of weakness here. Let's see where they're going to go with that. If we're going to see them try to take this lower. So they came out to the 117s in the overnight, could not take it out. So technically, we are not really starting to retrace this back up again. Maybe I'll get my retest here after this drift to the downside. Maybe we'll get a retest here, but I'm going to be looking for buying opportunities again 1610, 1605, 1600, 116 for rotations up. And that would be a retest failure setup. If they take out all these three, then we are back on the short side looking for a rundown all the way to 114. So this is kind of it. If they retrace back up again, I will be looking for short against 1622 and 1630 to 117s. Above 117s, I'm going to lean in on the long side and see if they can take this higher. Start retracing these single prints over here. So that's pretty straightforward as well on the bonds to get started this morning. Big question is really this 116 level. We're going to be looking initially for a retest failure against them, but it's and if they come out, let's stay on the short side. If it holds, Could be a nice buying opportunity. So that's where we are on the bonds. On the Nasdaq, same story as the ES. Pretty good reversal here on yesterday's trading based on Powell's uh, kind of remarks. Back up again, reverse retesting 24,910 to 20. And this guy is so far holding. So they've retraced the single print eyes. We're in the spot where if this starts trading above that 910 to 920s, be hopping on the long side again. Otherwise, I would be looking for a short against that level and looking to buy against the 870s, 840s, 810s down to that 770 area. Below 780, 770 to 80, I'm going to be staying on the short side on this and see how far they can take it. So we are in stage 2 again on the Nasdaq, and that one can, if we get the weakness and they start retracing further, then we are still in stage 2 looking for a spot to cut off the selling. The same as you're looking for on the ES. But if they hold this and it starts trading back up again, they take out the 910 to 920. We stay on the long side. Still looking for shorts against the 970s and the 25,020s here. A bit of caution. That's not less aggressively at that point. But it's we are in stage 2 right now. Let's see if we get back to stage 1 if they start taking out the highs, or if they're going to start backing off more, which is what we are looking for right now. Further weakness for a spot to cut off the buying, cut off the selling. If they take out that low, the 780s, 770 to 780s, still looking to buy against that 740s and the 700s, 650s for rotations back up. I would say below that 700, that's when we start having to worry about the short side, and that it's going to get a little bit gnarlier if that comes out this the 24 700s. So that's kind of where we started. Let's see if this little retracement is going to get some legs and going to take out that 910 to 920 on the Nasdaq. But if they don't, we may just be sitting here in the range going sideways for a bit. So, and at that point, we're going to be emphasizing entering stage 2, going from stage 2 to stage 3. So if we get an inside day today, they don't extend to the downside, and they just kind of hold, then we enter stage 3 by tomorrow, and then we're looking for another move out of the middle. So that's pretty much where we are at right now. So big questions in the ES and Nasdaq. Are we still in stage 2 looking for more weakness? That's what we're default starting to look for. Or are we going to retrace back up and get back into that long setting again? Right? And then finally, oil and gold. So gold, that's kind of holding here at 3,800. Big pop up here from they were holding a little bit lower than that before. So looking at capital flow on gold, they were holding down here at the building value down here at this 30. What was it? Let's see, at that 37.50 to 70, and then they start taking that out. We had a volume here. Here's where they started building back 36.80. Sorry, that level 36.80 to 36.70 to 80. So this is there they were holding. Then they start taking off a few days back, and 1, 2, 3 days to the upside, and we are at 3,800. So 100 points in 3 days, and now we are just kind of going sideways here again at 3,800. So big moves to the upside. So I would just stay on the long side on gold. If you can get on a move like that, you will be happy. They pretty violent retracement in between. So they short opportunities too, but it is freaking volatile. That's just nature of the game right now. So I would look forward to buy weakness, 37.90s, 37.80s, 37.70s for rotations back up again. And below that 70 level, I would start looking for a retracement trade. So that would be 37.70. Yeah, so it would be when that DE print comes out. So if that area comes out, I'm only looking for retracement trade down here, at least to that 37.40 low volume area. So that's kind of the dynamic right now in gold. Stay on the long side. Look to buy weakness, 37.90 to 92, 80 to 82, 70 to 72. Rotations back up. Below 70, 72 here, look for a potential retracement trade. On the way up for shorts against the 38.10s and the 38.20s with a bit of caution. It's I would not be super aggressive on the short side on those outer edges on gold. I would be waiting for the failure and then lot more conservative on those entries. And then on oil, all right, so we're trading higher on oil a bit, back up in this upper range again. So, and we are pretty much right back into that. A little bit above value, so we're up here testing those upper edges right now, up against that 64.60, 65. So these two areas I would look for short setups again, 64.20, 64.60, 65.20. All these three I would look for short setups against rotations down. That's just right up here testing that upper area. If those comes out, yeah, then we'll be back in this upper area. That would be a different game altogether. But right now, I'm just looking for shorts up against upper areas of resistance. And pretty much shorts for rotations back down again. All right, so looking for early strength. And then looking for short opportunities against the 64.20, the 60.70s, and the 65.20s for rotations back down again. So that's oil to get started. So stay range bound with bias to the upside on gold. Look for early strength on oil. Still looking for short, but look for short setups against those upper levels of resistance. And when it comes to the ES and NASDAQ, let's see if the stage 2 is still what the mode we are in, or if they're going to start trying to retrace to the upside again. So that's where we are. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it there. Next 3 to 4 to 5 years, gold. You know, I think gold is way overextended. So it's as long as there's a couple of things going on there. From what I hear, you have the BRICS nations trying to build an alternative currency, and they're backing all that stuff with gold. So a lot of central banks buying gold. That continues. Pressure is going to be still to the upside, and that can go on for 3, 4, 5 years before they get that thing off the ground. That thing is going on is just geopolitical concerns, especially this Ukraine war, which looks like it's as that means up, yes. That means that they're still looking to buy gold and start moving that higher. Technically, well, the second thing is that Ukraine war situation, which looks like it's spreading Europe. They're testing all sorts of boundaries. That could turn really ugly, or it could turn into a big, if they're going to have to slap really bad sanctions on it, that could be another, not necessarily central banks buying up because they want to back a new currency, but that would be more a hedge for geopolitical uncertainty. Still up, both of those situations. And the technical argument would be that, yeah, they've been right, they had doubled, they've gone up like almost 100% in pretty quick order. So say they solve the Ukraine war, that stops, we may see a pretty good retracement on gold in between. So I see it in the long term to the upside. I think in 3 to 4 5 years, I think it's going to be higher. I think it's going to run out of gas at one point here. I don't think it's going to be keeping this pace for a bit. It's been extending pretty good for a while. But where it finds value and stops, anyone's guess. But I think the trajectory is going to be to the upside. The only technical argument I see right now is that it's extended so much in the last 6 months. So it could be a pretty good technical sell-off in there somewhere in the between, which could be a good buying opportunity if you're looking to get in on gold. All right, so that's my 2 cents. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it there. I'll see you back at 11:30 for the next update.